whatever that is, like whatever, like yeah, just like that's where the creativity comes in, and like building something, and then how can I create that in a way where you can use that, or my mom, or like my sister, or like other people who are also on board, and then basically we can make it better and improve it, and when there's value that's created, and then we can also make money. But just worrying too much about money, like we're not going to make any money. It's like the crypto people, they're all like worried about money, but they're not making, like, where's the value? First you create value, like, and you can't just say it's value. You need to, like, it can't be, there needs to be real value in terms of real goods and services, something that actually people, and I think like there's a real problem of people taking all these like all these different pills from the pharma industry, all these different drugs that don't really get people like free mentally. Like, so I think there's a huge demand of people already spending a lot of money on all these different things, and so if there was a product that could give you mental mobility, like a car, because in a way we are building like a mental mobility engine, but because that's like a more nuanced type of reality, it's not like you can drive there with a car, like, in wheels. It's like a different kind of, we don't even know what the car looks like yet, really, or the ship, or the rocket, Okay, we have some idea with meditation, with psychedelics and things like that, but like, that's also not the only answer. That's not the only answer, like, because you need to integrate those insights. You need to also then go through your own dark, unconscious things. Like, it's a lot of different things, and it's very difficult, So in a way, we're trying to see, okay, how can you offer this in a way where it's becoming more integrated with other people, and like it's becoming more mainstream, and like obviously AI and crypto are the two trends that are happening, and yeah, that's it. Like, and if I have some sense of like, okay, this is valuable to myself, and I can see it's actually changing my own reality, then I'm also going to be willing more to invest into this and do this more, and then I'll be in a better position. But if I'm like so limited and restricted and self-censored, then this is a problem, that we need to first solve. Otherwise, like I could work 100 more years on this and nothing, I can't wake up being upset, angry, and like looking to the past, and being so stressed out, like, that I forget like the present, and like,
No, you need
and then
like
I'm
a
running,
daily
rushing,
practice, a daily practice
running and
that
rushing.
building it. It's
What?
not running and rushing it. It's literally building a practice, or a system, a structure that you can implement these ideas immediately in daily manner, and connect not maybe with always just humans, but also just like go there and do something. Whether it's one day connecting with a human, and another one is writing down certain like patterns and stuff like you're seeing that are merging, or that are emerging and they're shifting. So it's like your own exercise. You don't need to kind of like use that tool, like that device daily, but as the as something that we can both establish, to come back to and to commit to, to test the next, to test everything that you just spoke about. You still need to have, again, group of people basically doing that work, as you say, mechanical turking it.
Yeah, because the most important thing, which Amazon really does well, is like they have a really good relationship with the customer,
Yeah,
because
sure.
if something is wrong, they fix it, they replace it, and I think very few companies are like that, So we want to have like, yeah, we want to have like really great support in some sense, to guide people through this, because this is like, I think, where people ultimately would spend a lot of money, because if it can really change their lives in a deep way, then like that's really like, think about it. I mean, Apple is selling a device that's $1,000 one time, and like that's where most of their money. I mean, I don't think most people spend money on iCloud. Most of the money, I think, I don't know, I don't have the numbers, but it seems to me like, okay, there was iTunes. There's some other ways, obviously, they make money, right? But like most of it is like from selling the device. And think about how much money, like how, and Apple became the biggest company in the world. So I think if you can sell someone an interface to basically give them mental mobility, you know, if that's what it can deliver, then that's very valuable. And that's like, none of the crypto people are doing that. None of the AI people are doing that. None of the neuroscience, because even the neuroscience people, they're not, I mean, in some ways they also care about mental health, but like they're more about the biological processes in the brain than they are about the mind, you know, and consciousness. And I think a lot of people in the consciousness or spiritual community, they're just like out there somewhere. They're not sort of, they haven't made the journey back yet, you know, because they're exploring
Yeah,
themselves
they're
very
not
deeply, like,
grounded.
you know,
Yeah, that's truth.
and they're not really back in reality yet, you know, and also then it's hard for them to translate that into like, and I think that's where also we can then rebuild the network so people can then integrate their skill sets and their journeys into this in some way, you know, and it's like, you know, we can integrate all the existing trends, but it's like we're creating our own weather, you know, we're making our own industry in a way. And it integrates also with the metaverse, which will come into reality, like, you know, so I think there's a lot of like, just make it simple, just like, okay, I need to just see basically how can I get money, how can I raise capital, however I can. That's why I think we need to use the Ethereum token, because there's a lot of money there, you know, and so I'll just give it out to people, whatever, sell it, whatever. At this point, just do what, like, don't be so, because if I'm so trying to be righteous and principles and value, I'm not going to be able, nobody's doing that in the business world, you know. So you need to like, yeah, be competitive, and I think like that means like I need to be my own user in terms of like my own. I need to use the product myself and then be honest if this is a great product or not. You know, but like if you don't even know what the interface is, then there's no point in building hardware or even software if you don't even know really what it does. You know, because think about Amazon. Like they could have like, you know, I don't know how they tested it out, but probably like, you know, it's all about the product and the service that you offer. Like, you know, people don't care. Like, and you can like, you need to be honest with yourself about that, right? You know, so I think like this is going all in the right direction, but it's still like, I think what's missing is like, you know, basically figuring out, okay, what's like something that could help my, like, it's always hard to build for some other person and then you don't even have a real connection to it, you know. So it's like, what is it like that I could build myself or hack together that can actually make a difference to my own life and that help you and other people, and that's it, you know.
And it's the best place to start. Yeah.
And just like, I think, like, think about Craigslist. It's such a shitty software, but like people still use it because it does something that nobody else has offered since then, I guess. And there's no point in installing all this fancy stuff, all this fancy technology, all this stuff. If the product sucks, you know, then like you can't make it pretty, like, you know, just with makeup, you know, or some shell or some whatever, like some fancy AI model or whatever, like, you know, even AI people haven't figured out how to make money with this because everybody disconnected from like, how can you connect this to like a real person and like someone who wants to use it every day? It's hard to like make something that that a lot of people would like to use every day. Like even myself, like, you know, like I sign up for things and then I cancel, you know. It's like using something every day but I need something other than my phone because the phone is not helping me. Like we need an object to navigate through this world, you know, of like the mind. And if I'm not using psychedelics and like, if I'm, you know, I am meditating, but like, if I'm also very stressed out running the startup, yeah, it can't just be continuing down this path where I'm not making progress on the startup and I'm distancing myself further away from like the spiritual world because I'm so stressed out, you know, and then I'm just getting more angry and upset. So yeah, and then all the other ideas I have about dream technology that can be later, that can come later. Like you know, it's like we can't build a
Next
city on
stages.
Mars if we don't even have the rockets to go to get there. Like, you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
and so it's like all this stuff is valid and happening. It will happen, but like I need to be smart about also like cutting my losses and moving on from the past and not like you know bringing this like bad attitude or whatever into like the present with all the networks and new people, and then people look at me like you know like a homeless person in a way, like an insane person talking about the spiritual this world that doesn't exist really for them to see. And yeah, so that's why I stopped doing all these different things, and just like it's been hard, but like hopefully that will help me now to like, okay, what can you build, something simple, and that can be tested out. I think that's where like what Vinny said with mechanical trucking is a good point, because like Airbnb did the same thing, you know. I mean, I think they just had a very simple website, and someone could book there, and that's it, and they tested it out that way. It's like that's the same thing here. If we can test it out in a way